Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith, and welcome to The Gossip Show. Yes, that's what I'm calling it, because it's the Men Tell All episode. I apologize, I'm a few days late, but we're here for the Men Tell All. And what that really means is they're going to get together, and they're going to complain, and they're going to whine, and they're going to cry. This is usually an episode that I would pass over, because it's like, well, who cares? None of you, made it. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Luke's going to be the next Bachelor. So what am I tuning into this episode for? There's absolutely no interest in this episode for me, except they brought back the Chad. Yes, that's what we're calling him. He's the Chad now. Not even just Chad. He gets the Chad. And you know what? Check the ratings because everyone wanted to tune in to see what the Chad was going to do. Now, I thought this episode started off a little weird because they showed us all a preview for Bachelor in Paradise. And, it looks really violent and people are bleeding and crying and pregnancies. And at the center of all of this is Chad. Like, what's Chad doing? Is he hurting people? No. I'm not falling for the nonsense that the Bachelorette producers want us to fall for. Remember earlier this season, they wanted to make us think that Evan and James Taylor both got beaten up by Chad because they were bleeding. Turned out to find that Chad had nothing to do with it. It was just their own clumsiness and nonsense that had them bleeding. So, we roll into this episode here, the Men Tell All, and there's absolutely no interest in this episode for me. None. Except for the fact that the Chad is there. And I say that not because I'm a fan of this guy, not because I want to run out and get a t-shirt, but because he is so entertaining. He just likes stirring the pot. And that's what he did in this episode. And they really milked it too. They had Chad in his own trailer. They had a security guard outside of his trailer. Is that really necessary? I mean, video evidence has shown people have provoked him. You can make a defense for that. Remember in that whole little one-man show and Evan decided to take shots at him? And they're coming back and we see them passing each other. And then all we see is Chad rip his shirt. But then they go back and they show that Evan was kind of the one who initiated that. And yes, Chad says a lot of stupid things. He says ridiculous things. But without Chad, this season isn't as entertaining as it is. I hope this guy goes out, gets a good agent. Heck, he could do a Snickers commercial. Think about it. He starts off and he's really angry, and then all of a sudden it's somebody else. You're not yourself until you've had a Snickers. He could probably do a couple of walk-on roles, even on the ABC network. I'd love to see him on Modern Family. Heck, put him on Fresh Off the Boat. This guy is money. So let's ride his 15 minutes of fame for all it's worth. Now, I know I should be reviewing the episode and going through the intricacies of what happened, so let me bottom line it for you. This guy was sad, that guy was sad, this guy had his feelings hurt, this guy was upset, Chad's really funny, Luke's going to be your next Bachelor. Not confirmed, but that's my prediction. Now, I would like to draw your attention, ladies and gentlemen, to another piece of evidence as to why JoJo's going to pick Jordan on Monday. Look at it this way. We all saw that Chad was absolutely crazy, and we had people going up to her, telling her that. Evan even said, if he's staying, I don't want to be here, and all of this stuff. And then Evan gets a rose, and all this. And then it was funny, because Chad's like, you're digging this guy? Now, I have nothing against Evan. He seems like a super nice guy. But you can't tell me that there weren't a lot of other people that were thinking it. And that's not necessarily trying to be a mean person. That's just kind of society. You mean to tell me when Heidi Klum was dating Seal, people were like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. No, they weren't. Guys were thinking, I had a chance. And that's the unfortunate part of our society. Because in all honesty, and with all due respect to Evan, JoJo is not going to end up with a guy like Evan because he's super nice, he's super sweet, and she wants that edge. So don't hate the messenger. So here's the interesting thing though. All of these people are telling JoJo that Chad's no good. Evan's telling her. Fourfoot's telling her. Oh, by the way, how about that? Alex comes on the show. They mention the fact, the Men Tell All this is, comes on the show. They mention the fact that he was a Marine. Nobody says nothing. He served his country. Nobody says nothing. They mention the fact that Luke served. Ovation. Kind of weird. Whether or not you like Alex, he served. Isn't that worth a round of applause? Getting back to my point again. So all of these things happen. People are telling her how terrible he is, how bad he is, and she doesn't want to hear it. She just doesn't really care. But then it isn't until it's brought to her attention that he threatened Jordan, that he had to go. So, exhibit A, B, C, D, E, I've been telling you guys this for weeks. It's going to be Jordan. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, the Men Tell All episode was not very exciting. Of course, it was kind of fun watching Chad, get into JoJo's head, telling her one guy's with the ex, one guy's there for fame. Probably true. Well, who knows? We'll see. I've been making the point saying that we are going to see JoJo on the cover of People magazine with Jordan in about a week or so, talking about how they're doing, and I'm sure there'll be a little inset, little side column talking about how Aaron Rodgers might feel, or some sort of tie-in, because I got to tie in the fame. But my friend Ron, you'll remember him, my 60,000 step buddy, Ron made a really good point. He said, in a few months from now, the article will be, where is Jordan now? Or sorry, not where's Jordan now, but where's JoJo now? How's JoJo doing since the breakup? And I think you might be on to something, but we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, guess who I am? My name is Keith. How can you get a hold of me? Let me tell you. Twitter at CFL_fan, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you taking the time to check this out. Guess what? Monday, I'm coming back at you, because right after the episode, I'll be posting my blog, but I'll be waiting until the people on the West Coast have seen it. So right after the West Coast is done, expect my recap up, and hopefully I will be celebrating the fact that I was right and that Jordan took it. But if not, I'm man enough to admit that I was wrong. I just don't think I'll have to. Thanks so much for checking this out, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.